Hi, this is Bob WB3T, and this afternoon I'd like to show off my latest restoration project. This is the Heathkit HW8, of course, and the third HW8 that I've restored. This one was a really interesting project. It came to me in a state of serious disrepair. Everything from short circuits on the PC board and switch assemblies to key components installed backwards to missing parts and wrong values in the VFO, loose VFO coil, you name it, cosmetic problems. The meter was burned out. Happened to have one on hand that fit with only a little bit of filing and fitting in the front panel and the subface. Dented cabinet down in here, which I was able to unbend and file back to shape, and a complete repaint job, 3 coats of primer, 3 coats of Heathkit green, and of course adequate sandpapering and scotch braiding and steel walling in between coats, etc. Came out looking pretty factory fresh, so I was real happy with the way that turned out. Many electrical problems along the way, obviously built by a hack many years ago, and looks like several people have been in there trying to get it working, and no one until now had succeeded. So this is really a gratifying project, and it came out so nicely that I decided to add a few upgrades once it was up and running. Temperature compensated the VFO, added the S-meter circuit. Of course, the stock HW8, you would not see this meter moving in receive. This is a relative power output meter only on the stock HW8. Added the dial and meter lights and upgraded the RF amplifier transistor on the front end. It will now copy a 1 microvolt signal, and also upgraded the RF output transistor from the 2N4427 up to the 2N3553, which gives me about another 3/4 of a watt on each band. My first contact with this radio was England. I've worked France, plenty of DX. I live in an antenna restricted community. Even with my antenna restrictions, I've had no problem making loads of stateside contacts just in a week or so, and it's really been a lot of fun. Put your antenna on a 55-foot tower, you're going to do even better. QRP is a really challenging aspect of the amateur radio hobby, and I probably operate 95 or better % of all my operating time on CW QRP. So let's give a listen. This has had a complete realignment. I'd like to believe it's up to like a brand new HW8, which is really a treasure to have at this point in time. And they're just finishing. There's the 2 dits, and that means they're done. So let's look for someone else. Of course, he may call CQ again. There's somebody getting ready to call CQ. Or so he thought. I guess not. He sent a QRZ. I'd like to find at least one station good and loud. They'll do. I guess he's back on. And that's what the HW8 sounds like with the narrow audio filter kicked in. Also sounds nice wide open if you're scanning the band. And I also have this outboard Radio Shack DSP unit up here, which really sounds nice. Even in crowded band conditions, you know, there are those who would tell you can't use a direct conversion receiver in contest conditions, but with the addition of this outboard DSP unit, I could prove them wrong. My first HW8 restoration project back in 2007 yielded 17 DX contest contacts on its first day. Here's what it sounds like with the DSP in the wide mode. Medium. And narrow. And and that's about as good as it gets. You can't ask for any better than that. Even without the DSP, with the audio filter kicked in, you'll make out really well with this radio. It's a classic QRP transceiver. It's one everyone's heard of. Vintage Heathkit HW8 QRP transceiver. Easy to work on. Plenty of them left out there if you want to peruse your favorite ham radio auction site, and go to it. It's really a nice project. I have this other one. Here's number 2. This is the second one that I restored just about a month ago, and I won't go too detailed into this one, but this one I like to believe is in museum condition, other than the fact that I did install a digital dial output port here, a frequency output, if you want to put your little frequency counter, which I'm in the process. I don't like this shade. I'm going to do a better shade and get this to match, but this plugs in so you can actually watch your frequency digitally. So those are my last 2 HW8 restoration projects. I hope you enjoy your next one. If you find one that you can tinker with, go for it. Can't ask for more. 72, 73, this is Bob, WB3T, hoping to work you on QRP CW.